their beacon on the hill, a bastion so true. We pledge our love and loyalty in gratitude to you. Welcome to Voices, everyone. I am your host, Felicia Dennis. Thank you so much for joining us. For over 100 years, NCU, Northern Caribbean University, has catered to the community as Christ centered education. But do you know everything that needs to be known about NCU? Here on the program today, we have Mrs. Carol Barnes Reed, and we also have Shakira Davis. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, our audience, they need to know about you. So we're going to start with you, Mrs. Reed. What can you tell us about you and your position at NCU?
Okay, I've had a long history with NCU from I was a very young child. And I recently returned after completing the doctorate in public health from Loma Linda. And so I am now coordinating the public health program at NCU.
Nice.
Yes.
And you, Shakira.
I
Are you a
am
faculty member also?
no, I am not. I am a student at NCU. I am a third year guidance counseling major at NCU.
Okay, have you been enjoying the time at NCU?
NCU has its trials, but it has been a experience that I would never forget or try to change.
That's great. Now, for someone who's never heard about NCU before, all they hear is just NCU. Mrs. Barnes, what can you tell us about NCU? Where's the NCU located?
Okay, NCU is located to me one of my favorite parts of the island, which is Mandeville, which is the center of the island. The university itself is in an area that Mandeville is kind of built, it's a university town. So, there's a lot of activity going on. But in terms of the location and the beauty of the surroundings, it's just natural beauty up in the hills of Mandeville.
Yeah, and you can stand at certain points in the school and you just overlook the horizon. It's absolutely beautiful.
Especially in the mornings,
Yes.
early in the mornings.
Now, recently, about a year ago, NCU changed presidents, and we now have Dr. Trevor Gardner. And we have to commend him for the relationship and for making NCU known and felt, the presence of NCU felt in throughout the Union, Jamaica Union, Turks and Caicos, and the Bahamas as well. Can you describe the relationship between NCU and these unions?
First of all, Northern Caribbean University is owned by two unions. That includes the Atlantic Caribbean Union here, which includes, the Bahamas, Cayman, and Turks and Caicos.
Right.
So it belongs to you.
Right.
And as such, the Bahamian students are, even though they're international students, in terms of their fee structure, it's not the same as other international students, as long as they belong to the church. And the important thing to remember is that the Adventist church in these countries, the Bahamas, Cayman, and Turks, there is appropriations from the tithe that go towards helping to run the school.
Right.
So it is your school.
Okay, so all of those students graduating this year looking forward to tertiary level education, they know that there is a school for them,
Yes.
specifically for them.
For them.
Now,
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a question, but I want to actually hear this question first. What makes NCU different from other tertiary level institutions?
Okay, unlike every other tertiary institution, NCU deals with the holistic body, whereas the mental, the social, the academics, everything, NCU is all around it. So they try to invoke or to bring out all of those aspects within the students and the teachers or everyone that is affiliated with the institution.
Okay, and for you, Ms. Barnes, how do you think NCU caters to the whole man?
Well, not just the physical, the spiritual, and the academic, but one thing the university is now encouraging is service. And when we serve others, it really helps to make us grounded and to build us as individuals. So there are many activities on campus where students are encouraged to go off in the communities and give care and help and support to those that are especially less fortunate among us.
Okay, and to you again, Ms. Barnes, how would you describe the atmosphere of the school? Is it a school where, you have the professors on one side and students on one side, and the professors or lecturers are they just care about the grades, give me the grades, do the assignments, and that's it? Or is it like a family-like atmosphere? How would you describe
I
it?
would have to say it's more family-like. And when I have been to other universities over the world, especially in North America, much bigger universities, and that kind of camaraderie and being able to just approach your professors one on one,
Mhm.
the environment at NCU fosters that kind of relationship. And so there's even mentoring. And, we, as faculty members, we reach out to students, we embrace them, we take them home for dinner
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
definitely.
We play with them, different sporting activities and, working out in the gym. So it definitely is more of a family-like feeling
And Shakira,
overall.
what would you say about it?
Well, NCU, it is more of a family feeling because I remember there was a time where I was going through something and I could have gone to Uncle Patrick Smith and he could have helped me even though it was not something big, or he was able I could relate to him, I could have talked to him. He opened me with arms wide open. It's the same way with the lecturers and other people, anyone that you come and you meet.
So family-like atmosphere.
Mhm.
A school where lecturers actually care about the students. NCU cares.
Yeah.
Now, Ms. Barnes, how is NCU keeping up to date in terms of maintenance of its physical structure? What are they doing?
As you said earlier, the university is 100 years old.
Yes.
And so over time, there's always improvements.
With anything that's
With
100 years
anything.
old.
But right now, with the growth, it's challenging for most institutions throughout the world with
Mhm.
the economy that as it is.
Right.
But that has not stopped the university from making all efforts to improve on their infrastructure. Improve on what they currently have and at the same time plan for the future for growth and expansion. So as such, I know that this coming summer there will be some work done
Mhm.
to on the residence halls,
Mhm.
on the food service facilities, and even in terms of the classrooms. Just recently, they installed a smart board to keep up to date with current technology. They're going through training the teachers know how to use a smart board in the Solomon Harriet Lecture Theater.
Mhm.
So they're always looking for ways to keep up
Mhm.
and improve. It is challenging,
Mhm.
but it's always something I know the president and administration, they have on their minds at all times, how to make things better.
That's good. Now, about over 40 countries are represented on NCU campus, from as far as Nigeria, China, Canada, Haiti.
Mhm.
Students all over the world are present at NCU. Shakira, can you tell us some things at NCU, what they do to cater to international students?
Well, recently we had the ISS installed, which is the International Student Services, and we have become more out on the campus. They're looking for ways to include us in having more events, more other activities. The ISS, they have a transportation
Services.
put
right.
in place so that if you come to the airport, someone is there to pick you up. But Mrs. Hilton, she's doing a good job trying to get everybody out there because she realizes that we have been under for too long.
Mhm.
So she's trying to get us more active and more out there on the
Right.
campus.
And you also know things that's happening within the international students community. So if someone loses a parent or a loved one,
Yes,
everyone knows
yes.
about that, so you can pray about it. So you're not suffering
Alone.
alone when something
Exactly.
happens. Everyone is up to date. Now, NCU does a lot to cater to the community as well as to students. Shakira, I'm going to ask you, what does NCU do for the students? But Ms. Barnes, can you tell us what NCU does for the community within this past year?
Well, like I said, with trying to get students more involved in service, they have reached out to the less fortunate. They've been to children's homes, homes for the elderly, and they've given care. They've provided care. They also have some programs where they're helping to teach parenting skills. So those in the communities, as we try to foster healthy homes, which is important for any nation to grow.
Yes.
And so there are a lot of initiatives they have going where they're just reaching out to the less fortunate in the community to help them.
That's good. Shakira, what happens for the students? How do they cater to the students?
For the students, like I said earlier, they cater to the whole being. So we have a gym put in place. So if you want to exercise, you can go, and once you sign up and you register, they facilitate you. We also have on Wednesdays we have a soup kitchen. So
That
like
must be good.
for
Middle of the
those
day.
so for those who are hungry, who may not, you find this a lot where people do not have food. So they're excited to come on Wednesdays. The lines are very long to get their cup of soup. And we also have a coupon that you can get. It's a ticket that you can get. If you do not have food, you can go to your department, you can go to the International Students Services, you can go to Student Services, and you can get these passes, and you can go to the cafeteria and you can purchase a drink, food, etc. They are trying to.
And I also know about scholarships. They offer scholarships throughout the semester to students. I personally benefited from some of those scholarships. So it's not an environment where, I need to have every single penny in order to make it. You get to NCU, and NCU will see to
And
it
you
that
work.
you finish. At this point, we're going to take a break, and we're going to watch a promotional video from Northern Caribbean University.
Northern Caribbean University, NCU, is truly a beacon on the hill. From its humble beginnings in St. Catherine, NCU has grown from a one-room school to become the largest English-speaking Seventh-day Adventist tertiary institution in the world. Operating out of 4 campuses throughout the island, NCU aspires to be the center of holistic higher education, upholding Christian values in an intellectually stimulating environment.
But what has really characterized this astonishing growth over the decades? Join us as we delve into these quick facts about your beloved institution where learning never ends.
The dream was started with George F. Enoch, who saw the need for an Adventist school in the island of Jamaica. Since its establishment in 1907 under the name West Indian Training School, NCU has been molding young minds to become unique thinkers and developing characters that model Christ. Quick fact: the first baccalaureate degree, bachelor's in theology, was conferred in 1960.
Today, NCU offers a wide array of degrees at the undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate levels, which are accredited by various bodies both locally and internationally. Since acquiring university status in 1999, Northern Caribbean University steadily increased its academic offerings. The university currently offers approximately 30 bachelor's degrees, 7 master's degrees, and 2 doctoral degrees. Today, we can boast that an average of 1,000 graduates leave the halls of Northern Caribbean University annually, properly equipped to give back to society. Quick fact: the NCU student population includes students from over 40 countries across the region and around the world, as far as Nigeria to China.
NCU marked their stamp in the world of technology when they competed in the 2007 Microsoft Imagine Cup competition. Upon beating the region, they traveled to Egypt, where they were placed 3rd in the world. This paved the way for other teams from NCU to enter the competition. Sweat and hard work eventually gave way to victory as Team Zormis placed 1st in the world in 2010 in the software interoperability category in Poland. The team's success has been recognized both nationally and regionally. NCU extended its appreciation by employing all the members of Team Zormis. Quick fact: NCU has reached the finals of the Microsoft Imagine Cup competition almost every year since it has entered.
Strengthening its position as the premier institution of choice in technology, Northern Caribbean University, through the University Information System Services UNIS, has engineered and developed a cutting-edge learning management software, Aorion, which is currently in use at Northern Caribbean University and several other academic institutions across Jamaica. Quick fact: the work team at UNIS is made up mostly of NCU graduates.
Once again, NCU was thrust in the spotlight when it received the largest endowment in Jamaica's history, a software grant from Simmons Product Lifecycle Management, Inc., valuing 10.7 billion Jamaican dollars. The grant was aimed at enriching the curriculum of engineering students while effectively preparing them for the workforce. Quick fact: Northern Caribbean University has 5 colleges and 2 schools. Northern Caribbean University expanded its reach in the island of Jamaica once again when it formed the NCU Media Group. The group houses NCU TV, which can be seen on Channel 188 on the Flow Network, and NCU FM, which can be heard on 91.1, 91.3, and 91.5 on the FM band. The stations were officially launched on November 25 in the year 2010, in conjunction with the opening of the NCU Media Group building. Quick fact: NCU FM was formerly known as WIC Radio 88.3 FM. NCU TV was localized in Mandeville before it went island-wide on the Flow Network in December 2009.
In the areas of science and research, here again Northern Caribbean University was able to shine. A 10-year research on the effects of select natural products on cancer yielded a contract with Grace Kennedy Foods and a new line of products, Grace Blends. Numerous other researches have resulted in significant impacts on key areas in Jamaica's development and have also garnered international recognition. Quick fact: Dr. Paul Giles and Mr. Alston Miller have had their work on occurrence of inorganic ions and microorganisms in potable water in Jamaica published in the online journal Environment Earth Science. Much more could be said on the tremendous achievements over the years. NCU continues to be a place where dreams are fulfilled, minds and characters are transformed, and able graduates are sent forth into the world.
The university stands firm in its mission to provide quality Christ-centered education achieved through academic excellence, social interaction, spiritual development, and a strong work ethic, thereby fitting each student for committed professional service to country and to God.
Join us on this incredible journey as we make Northern Caribbean University a place where excellence is defined, where history is created,
and where learning never ends.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us here on Voices, and we are discussing Northern Caribbean University, a beacon on a hill located in the beautiful parish of Manchester, Jamaica. And with us on the program, we have Mrs. Carol Barnes-Reed, and we also have Shakira Davis. Now, many persons wonder why the school has graduation service in August, and that is very unique and confusing for some. Ms. Barnes, what can you tell us about this decision?
Well, I know years ago they used to have two graduations. And actually, graduation, if you've never been to graduation at NCU, you know it's all the pomp and circumstance. So it's actually a costly venture. And what they realized is that some students in May were not quite ready. They had a couple more credits they needed to complete that they would be able to complete in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So they decided then that instead of having those students have to wait another year to March, then push down the graduation into August so that those that were not quite ready in May would still be able to March in August and graduate that year.
Okay. Shakira, how have you grown spiritually since attending NCU? Or are you still at the same level, same point in your relationship with Christ from the first day you went?
There is no one that can go to NCU and be at the same level with Christ. Before I left Nassau in 2009 to go to NCU, most people would have known me as the rebellious child or the child that, gave a lot of trouble. Now, upon going to NCU, it changed my life drastically. I learned how to lean on him. I've been in situations where I didn't know where the next dollar was coming from. I don't know how my tuition was going to be paid, how I would eat the next day. But some way, by leaning on God and talking to him and pouring out my heart, I was able to see through because of him. So going to NCU, it has helped me in so much ways. So much ways.
And Ms. Barnes, how have you grown spiritually since being affiliated with the school?
I think just like Shakira, NCU is a wonderful place to be. It has its challenges. It's not perfect, but overall, to me, it's a wonderful place to be. But in dealing with those challenges, you really have to lean on God. And as such, though, the spiritual life at NCU is rich. They have a week of prayers and just the different services throughout the week. It's rich. It's something I look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in an environment that really nourishes your spiritual life, and that I have found that my own spiritual life has grown as a result of that.
Now, I know there's a program or a devotional segment that happens on Monday morning, I believe, where all faculty members and staff come together.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about that program?
It's actually called Family Focus, and it's a worship service. It's a short worship service where we just feel to begin the week, the work week. We need to come together and fellowship and pray together and thank God for His blessings. So that happens every Monday morning, and different departments will lead out. So not just one department, but different department lead out. And then some people get so creative with it. It's just something really wonderful to attend.
Okay, Shakira, can you tell us about one of your most memorable experiences on the beacon,
On the hill.
on the hill?
Okay, one of my most memorable experiences was the day that I met Patrick Smith. I mean, we always saw him in chapel services.
And he's so lively and energetic.
Yes, lively and energetic and excited. But when I came home and I said, "Mommy, you know Patrick Smith, this guy, he's full of energy." And Mama said, "Patrick Smith? I knew him when NCU was first West Indies. My mom and him went to school together." So I went to him and I was like, "I know you." And he's like, "You know me?" And I'm like, "I know you. You and my mother went to school." And he said, "What's your mother's name?" And after I told him who she was, it was like a transformation in my life, because he adopted me, and so much things that I learned. He's like that spiritual father in my life, and that is something that I'll ever be grateful for.
And how about you, Miss Barnes? What's your most memorable experience at NCU?
Wow. I think the day it became a university, I will never forget that. The pride and the excitement. And you have to understand, as I said, I have been there from day one. It was at NCU, former West Indies College, that my parents met. I was blessed as a child in the chapel.
Wow.
I went to elementary school,
Your
high
entire
school.
life.
My life is
NCU.
NCU.
Literally.
So yes, so the day it became a university, I had recently returned to Jamaica. It was just so exciting. It was such a good time to be in a place where there is so much progress, and it's something I will never forget.
Now, this is the graduation season. A lot of students are graduating from high school and they're looking forward to tertiary level education. And Adventist, we have so many schools. There's, right here in the region, well, in the United States, there's Oakwood, there's Andrews, there's Selwyn, Loma Linda. And then, of course, in Canada, you have CUC. You have all these schools, very fancy schools and so on. What would you say to a student who's looking for a college? What would you say to encourage them to go to NCU? I'm going to
Who's that?
Shakira
Oh,
answer that
okay.
first.
Okay. If you are looking for just to get an education, NCU is not the place. But if you are looking for somewhere that you will find brotherhood, friendships to be made, people that genuinely care and love you, a place that you can get a degree and also come out with some experiences that is priceless, NCU is the place for you. NCU is the place.
How about you, Ms. Bond? What would you say to that student?
You just have to look at the track record of the graduates. So many of our graduates have gone on to do very well throughout the world. So you're getting a first-class education in a Christian environment. And at the same time, we have to be realistic in terms of cost. You're getting this quality education that will cost you less than if you go to North America.
Okay.
And our students, like I said, go to school abroad in the U.S., and they're able to just continue. So,
Right. Now, NCU is located on the beautiful island of Jamaica, lush with all those trees and mountains. We don't have those mountains here now. So. And rivers, the rivers and everything. How would you describe Jamaica?
Jamaica, it says out of many one people, it's just a potpourri of all kinds of people. Plants, flowers, animals, fruits, everything.
Fruits there I never even knew existed.
Yes. It's hard to say you're bored in Jamaica because there's so much to do and learn about that country. It is a country that has its own struggles, but the people are fighters in terms of wanting to move on and do something better. and to build the nation. So that's the way I would really describe Jamaica.
Awesome. And Shakira, how would you describe your experience, not necessarily at NCU on campus, but in Jamaica itself? Are the people warm and friendly? I would want to know this if I was considering going to NCU. Are the people warm? How is it? What's it like?
The people that I have met have been nothing but lovable to me. There are people that I will never ever forget. They they love to take you in. They love to bring you home. They love to feed you. They are.
You can count on the food.
Yes, you can count on the food. The beaches are beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. In Mandeville, it is always cool. So unlike here in the Bahamas where we get hot and sweaty, I'm like, oh my goodness, I wish I was back in Mandeville where it's so cool. Yes. So the place is it's nice. It's a nice place.
Now, finally, there is someone listening. They want to pursue tertiary level education. They have been praying about it. They're asking God for direction. However, that direction, if they're seeking for direction, they better not look at their bank account because the money just isn't there. What would you say to that person response?
There is always hope. And like you mentioned, there's a work study program, there's scholarships available, and so there is a way. And people just have to not give up hope. There is a way to get this done.
How about you, Shakira? What would you say to that person who's considering coming to NCU, but the money just isn't there?
Unlike other schools, NCU is cheaper. It is cheaper. NCU facilitates an environment where you can work and you can study. They work around your school schedule and you will be allowed to work. And they have other things put in place where you can get income and do your school. Even if you don't have to take full credits this semester, you can still go on. But it will never be a full stop for you.
Ladies, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I know there's so much more that we can say about NCU because I've been there for a while and I would not trade the experience for anything in the world. I do wish you best. May God continue to bless both of you as you continue in your different areas.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us on Voices Today. You have heard of Northern Caribbean University, over 100 years of Christ-centered education. And maybe you're considering going to NCU. Continue to pray about it and God will lead you. For Voices, I'm your host, Felicia Dadas. God bless.